Hello dear students, and today we are going to learn more about Aldous Huxley, the essayist. So, you know the works of Huxley. Philip Thody wrote about him that perhaps what is most noticeable about Huxley's later career as an essayist is the gradual disappearance of purely literary topics. So his topics change, the variety of his works change. Early he used to write about culture, arts, economics, and he was writing about travelogues, about places. So his writings were very literary in nature in the beginning, but later on when he was writing, there were some personal strains that also came up in his writing. So his first essay was On the Margin. 1923 was his first collection of essays, and his most popular essays were Vulgarity in Literature, that came in 1930, and Tragedy and the Whole Truth, that was published in 1931. So these works were very important. Vulgarity in Literature 1930 and Tragedy and the Whole Truth 1931. From the end of 1954 to early 1957, he contributed a series of essay in Esquire. So Esquire was the literary magazine for which he was contributing from 1954 to 1957. He wrote a couple of articles for Vedanta and the West, which were collected in a collection that was known as Adonis and Alphabet. So his brief biography. Aldous Huxley was born in Surrey on July 26, 1894, into one of the most distinguished families in English intellectual life. He was the grandson of T.H. Huxley. When Aldous Huxley was 17, he fell victim to an inflammation of the cornea that nearly blinded him. So it was an infection of the eye, and for 2 years he couldn't read. And after 2 years, when he was okay, so he could read, he could only read it with the help of a magnifying glass. So after treatment also he wasn't able to read fully. So you can understand that writing such volume of work, so many novels, so many essays, was so difficult for him because he had to do it through a magnifying glass. After his education at Oxford in 1919, he joined the staff of Athenaeum, a London literary magazine. This is very important for your objectives, that he joined the staff of Athenaeum, a London literary magazine. Huxley's extraordinary career as a novelist and philosopher began with the novels Chrome Yellow 1921 and Antique 1923. These two works of Huxley are thought to be his greatest works. They are Chrome Yellow and Antique. He was also a versatile essayist and wrote several volumes upon such diverse subjects as architecture, criticism, science, education, economics, and political democracy. So you can see the variety that is there in his writings. In later life, he lived in America and continued writing till his death. So in his later life, he moved from England to America. Huxley died of cancer on November 22, 1963. As an essayist, Aldous Huxley is not a personal essayist like Charles Lamb. Earlier we have read about the various styles of personal and impersonal essays. So Aldous Huxley is one of those essayists who doesn't lie in any of the two categories. He is neither very personal nor very impersonal. So he has derived a balance between the two styles of writing, and he has written in both styles, and it cannot be totally personal or autobiographical. Even his travelogues are not very personal. So he says he is not a personal writer like Charles Lamb, but he is a successful essayist. Charming, dignified, and thought-provoking, because he has the qualities of being a great and memorable essayist. To be an essayist, a writer must have one gift, and that is style. And definitely, Huxley has a good style and command over writing. To have a style, he must be a character. So you have to have a very strong character to be able to write well, because you have to think, you have to assimilate. You cannot write anything just like that. So for being a good writer, you have to have a very well-formed brain. So you have to have a character, and to be a character, you must have wisdom. Huxley added knowledge gained from much travel. So you travel a lot and you learn from his travels. immense reading and constant meeting with intelligent people, he had a full mind and an unquenchable spirit of inquiry. So he wanted to know more and more. His essays are relevant to the situations in his time and also in ours. So there is a relevance, there is a whatever he wrote is relevant even today, and that's why we are reading him even today. His time was a time of revolution and upheaval, and demanded steadiness and unalterable views which Huxley's essays sought out. So at the time of revolution, when the two world wars are happening, one has to keep on their standpoint, and Huxley is good in that. He maintains his standpoint. So he is a writer of modern age because he was, as we told, he was writing during the two world wars. So he is very modern in that sense, and he wrote during the troubled times of the two world wars. So you have seen a gradual, like from Bacon to Lamb to from the early writers to the romantics, and now we have moved to the modern writers. So the style, the techniques are innovative, and they're writing on a variety of topics. Shishir Kumar Ghosh says there can be little doubt that Aldous Huxley has touched the modern scene at more points than most other writers of the day. He has meant much to some and something to most. He is a modern of the moderns. So naturally he is a modern of the moderns, and now we know the variety of his contents, and there's something more about the variety that he is writing. In the preface to his collected essays, Huxley says that essays belong to a literary species whose extreme variability can be studied most effectively within three poles of reference. The first is the personal and autobiographical, the second is the objective, and third is the abstract universal. So Huxley wrote in all these forms. Huxley himself has written in all these three poles of reference on a wide range of subject matter. He wrote on painting, music, science, philosophy, religion, and dozen other subjects. So we can just see that how well informed and how diverse was Huxley. In the end, we will discuss the prose style of Huxley. So the essays of Huxley are remarkable for their astringent charm. So there's a lot of charm that is there in his essays, inventive wit and impish satire. So there is both wit and humor that is there in his essays, and he is very satirical also, ironical also at certain point of time. The very qualities which mark his fiction of the 20s. So he is writing because he belongs to that time. His intellectual interest, omnivorous curiosity, and keen observation are the hallmark of his essays. By temperament, he was an observer, a collector of human curiosity. He was an aesthete who valued experience above everything else. The charm of Huxley's essays nonetheless lies in the graceful, polished style, a great gift of epigram, a ready wit, and an alert mind. Simplicity, lucidity, and elegance are the striking features of his prose style. His style is never clumsy, clotty, beery, ponderous, and baroque. His descriptions are often picturesque and effective. His use of apt similes and metaphors enhances the pleasures of his prose and creates humor. So that's all for now. Next, we will continue with Selected Snobberies, the essay by Aldous Huxley. Thank you.